Okay, got another 98-inch TV to install, and this time we're putting it in an apartment complex, which is a little bit more challenging. So if you live in a condo or apartment complex, you gotta make sure you have a little bit more space, or maybe you should just have it delivered by Best Buy, because making sure you get the clearance and all that, and the challenge of installing it in something like this is gonna be fun. So we're gonna go and check it out, put a 98-inch, another one for the Super Bowl, this time for an Eagles fan. So let's go get this done. All right, so here we have a TCL 65-inch. This is a Roku TV, which is gonna be a nice upgrade to go 98-inch, get the Google TV. Gonna give it a little bit more size in this room, and it's gonna be awesome for watching sports, movies, all that. A nice little sectional here, so there's gonna be fantastic viewing angles and everything with this bigger 98-inch TV. Now they do have a mount here. It is kind of just a tilting mount. I thought it might turn, it does turn a little left and right, but because we're putting a 98-inch up, it's gonna be flat mount just to make it a little bit more secure, so we don't have to worry about swinging a big 98-inch TV around, which nobody really wants to do. And we're gonna kind of keep the height at the same level and kind of go a little bit lower with it, so I don't end up on the TV Too High Reddit page. Customers using YouTube TV, so we don't really need a ton of HDMIs, maybe one to the soundbar, maybe one to the game system and all that. So we'll get this tiny 65-inch out of here so we can get the 98-inch in here and they can really watch the Super Bowl on a big TV, rooting for the Eagles. It's just under 6 feet. 71, 72 inches, so that's good. Just gotta rotate these out. Safety pins, as long as they're accessible, you're good, man. If the TV's too tight, really hard to get these guys out. All right, so this is on. That looks like a stud there. This looks like toggle bolts on this side, although the stud is probably right there and they just didn't find it. We got a longer mount so we can hit that one and probably 2. Okay, let's just take the TV out. Those things are awesome. I gotta get some of these. Got this for leveling on top. Okay, so we got this home vision mount. So we had 2 mounts, a mounted one and a home vision. I'll link them in the description. Both of them have this being 600 tall by 800 wide, so they can cover all the 98-inch TVs, regardless of the patterns. But there are definitely some wacky patterns on these big 98-inch TVs, so definitely check of the Visa pattern before you try to wall mount this, but it's gonna work. So let's attach the brackets to the back of the TV, and then we'll hang the wall mount up. All right, so we want to put the TV at 6 feet. Just measure from here to the top, 26.5. So from 6 feet, go down 26.5, and that's where the mount will go. Easy enough. In addition to keeping the top at 6 feet, we're also going to move it over just a little bit to kind of square it up on the seating area, kind of right on the king's chair. So, you know, the main fan here can watch this game straight on. So we're going to move it over a little bit, go from 6 feet down 26.5, and slap the mount up. So what do we say? 72 minus 2 feet and then 2.5 inches. That's 26.5, right? 2 feet, 24, 26.5. About right there. Now, this is how we do it right here, Marcus. I'm gonna measure right to the middle of you. 84 inches, looks like about where you're sitting, in the middle, or was it 86, middle? 85, there you go. 85 to the middle. So that would put the center right here. So the mount's gonna be a little lower, it's gonna be down here. Height-wise, are you okay? Let me double check and show you where the top and the bottom of the TV are gonna be. It's like 49 inches, such a big TV, dude. We might have to raise it up. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to raise it up. It's 50 inches tall, dude. The TV's gonna go all the way there. We're gonna have to go higher than that then. We're gonna have to go like this. Is that okay? Like something like that?
Yeah, that works.
All right, good thing I measured that, because otherwise the TV would have been like countersunk underneath that, man. It wouldn't have worked. So 26.5, it's almost the same height for the mount. Centers here. Basically those holes are gonna remain. So the good thing about the wall mount is that there's already holes in the wall. So we know that there's a stud on one side, but we had to find the stud on the other side. And based on kind of where we wanted that height, mount goes in the same spot more or less. So now we're good to go. Just wanted to double check everything before I start drilling. Measure twice, cut once. It's a good rule to live by. We did make 4 new holes, so it's gonna be into 2 studs, 1 on each side of center, and there is a little bit of horizontal adjustability for the TV mount. And as usual, I start by just drilling the top 2 holes first to make sure I can get the whole mount level. Secure those bolts in the wall. And then after that, I drill the bottom 2 and secure those bolts. Okay, so now that we had the bracket on the wall, all we gotta do is hang up the TV. However, we brought the TV in backwards, so that can be a problem. When you have the TV in backwards, limited space and mobility, you gotta kind of finagle your way around to get it the correct way and then hang it up. And pretty straightforward, get the brackets on top of the wall mount and you're good to go, knowing that gravity will do the rest. There we go. Yep, you can lay down, you're good. Look at that. I love it. God bless America. You think it's too high or anything? It's good? You think it's good?
That works.
It's actually not too high. It's pretty much perfect. I gotta make sure it's level. So we can adjust the height to make sure, or like kick up this left side a little. It's got a little screw in the top. I did have to adjust the left side of the bracket a little bit because it was a little bit lower. So just rotating the screw clockwise brought that side up to make it level. And then we were good to go. Put the soundbar back in place and time to fire it up. And look at the difference. Absolutely enormous. I think everybody needs a 98-inch TV. It's really what you need to have these days. And the fact that these TVs are so much less expensive than back in the day. I mean, again, we compared these to like, you know, your plasma 50-inch that used to cost $10,000, and now this is 1/10 of the price for 4 times the size. So pretty crazy. So with the 98, we actually went from a Roku TV to now has Google TV operating system. I like that a little bit better. The ability to kind of resume things, as we've talked about in other videos, resume content, different profiles, all that. We did mess around with the settings just to take it out of the vivid mode, put it into sports mode, because that's primarily what's going to be watched. I did tell the client we also have movie mode, but then made it a little warmer in temperature and then changed the settings for the motion just to make it a little less soap opera effect, a little bit more natural. And I think it's pretty much set up. So I like the way that it looks. I did tell the client now, in order to kind of balance the room out, maybe to get a longer entertainment center, which is going to be kind of an obvious choice for people if they're going to have a giant TV like this. It does just make it look a little bit more balanced. I think that'll be a great opportunity. And again, this is actually almost more flat of a profile than the other TV was before this, because it was on an arm mount that did stick out pretty far. So going up to a 98-inch screen from a 65, having it pretty much as close to the wall with a tilt mount, so you can angle it down like we have it now just a little bit, gives it, you know, great viewing angles, enormous TV for a large seating area. I think it's going to be a great fit for this room. And then the only thing besides the entertainment center is a little wire management. Maybe get a little white strip here to go down the wall in order to contain all these cords. And once we have the wires cinched up, they'll be all good to go. All right, and there you go. Finished 98-inch install from TCL Q6. I like it. Got the art mode on right now. Obviously, I like my big TVs, and obviously I got some friends that do too. So I think they're gonna love this TV to watch sports on, home cinema, home theater in your house. I think everybody wants one of these. But you guys let me know what you guys think about this. If there's any questions you may have about 98-inch or bigger TVs, maybe next year we'll get a 116 in here or in the house. But thanks for watching the video. Make sure to smash and like and all that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you guys in the next video.